when I'm happy, there's guilt with happy. There's still that thing of like, I'm not allowed to be happy. This is going on. This is going on. This is going on. I haven't done this for this person. I made this choice and this person isn't happy with it. And here, I'm not allowed to be happy, especially if I make choices and actions that don't align with what other people wanted, then I can't be happy with it. I have to be like miserable and remorseful. Like I'm still pulling those threads. I'm still unpacking that and releasing that. And I don't know what part of me isn't ready to let it go yet, but it's still there to where like just saying how happy overall, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. That's interesting.
We'll make it out and fall in love tonight. Ain't nothing
Do you have an idea of where we're going?
Well, if only we have stuff to talk about. I think we should start with today's my favorite day. Favorite.
Tell me why today's your favorite day.
Because 6:20. Oh, wait. I'm like, do I want to divulge that information? Suddenly I was like, what if I need to keep, because 623 is my favorite number.
Okay.
It's one of them. Yeah.
You want to keep your 623 secret?
Yeah. I almost don't know if I want to say that.
Because you don't want to let it out?
I don't know.
Is it like...
I didn't feel like it was until all of a sudden saying it out loud was like, oh, wait a minute. I was excited to say it, but then it was like, hey, that's private.
It's private information.
Private. Well, it's just like I've only shared that with a couple of people.
How long has it been your favorite number?
Oh my gosh, I've seen 623 on the clock. I don't even know, since I was a kid.
Really?
That's just always been there. That's the number that it seems like whenever I look at the clock, it's there. Since I had my VCR in my room and it had the digital, and it had the digital clock. And I would see 623 and it just like kept going, 623. And of course, the more attention I gave to it, it's built a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
So 623. And so when it's...
Well, we're recording on 623.
I know, that's what I'm like. Today's my favorite day. So...
What do you think? What do you expect today to be?
Beautiful.
Just beautiful all around.
It's my favorite day.
Yeah.
So whenever this day is here, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Because instead of seeing it like a couple of times on the clock, twice on the clock, I get to like be in this energy all day long.
That's awesome.
And it's always cool when I look at the clock and it's like, of course, it's 623. Of course, it's 623. And I'm like, today's 623. It sounds like Monsters, Inc., the way I said that, 623. So I was like, 2319. I just heard it when I said it that way. So.
All of our 10 code.
Right.
Copy. 1023.
All right.
10-4.
623.
623.
Let's go.
Well, I'm excited that it's a beautiful day for you. I don't have as much of a connection to 623 as you do.
It's okay.
I vicariously connect to it through you.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite day of the year. Yeah, I don't think I have like, I've got favorite numbers and stuff. Like 16 is one of my favorite numbers. But I don't think that really I don't like January 6th or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I almost said January 5th, right?
Ooh,
what's the terrible day that we're not supposed to mention?
It's the one you said first.
Is it January 6th?
I think it's the 6th, yeah.
That's definitely not my favorite day. Don't say it.
Scratch, edit, delete. Right? I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, you get a 16 every month. You get a favorite day every month. Yeah. Bam.
I don't really know why 16 is my favorite number either. Like I can't connect it to anything. It's always just kind of been. I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's some real significance to those things?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fun, or like there's probably way more there, huh?
That's fun. I know at least 2 of our kids also have a favorite number.
Yeah, I'm sure they all do.
I know, as I'm saying, I know at least 2. I don't know about if the other 2 do. I know half do.
Yeah.
And I think it's common. Just more common. I don't know. Maybe it's not. If you're one of the weirdos like us and have a favorite number, join us.
I think everybody's got to, right?
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. We should ask. That should be the first question on the podcast. What's your favorite number?
The first question on this podcast, or just when we have guests come on?
When we have guests.
Okay. What's your favorite number?
What's your favorite number? I'm going to ask it if I remember. We'll see. It might be a window down or up moment.
What is a window down or up moment?
Really?
Are you talking about yesterday? Oh my gosh. It was so hilarious, everybody. We were driving back. We're going to get into it too, because we can talk about this weekend. We had this amazing, beautiful weekend in Asheville, North Carolina. We went and saw Abraham Hicks for 2 days. It was this 2-day event, and it was unreal how awesome it was and powerful it was. But on the way home, we're riding very high. Like we're super high vibing. Everything's like amazing and beautiful. And we're
not
feeling
intoxicated.
Really good. No.
Not like substance.
Oh,
we're
good point.
high
Good
vibe.
point. Yeah.
You're like, we're driving home high as high as can be. Like, no. Happy
Just
moods, high vibe.
feeling amazing, right? And we got off we weren't on the freeway, but we were driving through these back roads and through these country roads between North Carolina and Tennessee. And we get to the spot where it slows down and we're kind of getting into this little town. I have no idea what town it was.
Yeah.
And you're rolling down the window and you're like, oh my gosh, it feels so good here. The air feels so nice. And you're just like totally jonesing and loving it. And then I pointed out there was this cool plant that was right on the side of the road. And you start to try to pull out your phone. It was so funny. Like you were going to take a picture of the plant and you were trying to hurry up and roll down the window in order to get the picture of the plant.
And the window wouldn't roll down.
You're like, did you lock the windows?
I was pushing the button and it wasn't going down.
I'm like, you mean the window you just literally rolled down and had your hand out the window?
You looked at me and you're like, it's down. To be fair, it has one of those visors on the side.
Like one of those, I don't know what those are, like a windscreen or something like that.
Something on the windows.
Supposed to help with the aerodynamics or something.
It's tinted and like the windows are tinted. So I don't know what happened. I just saw that and thought that that's as far down as the window was for some reason. And I swear it was so real. I thought I saw spots on the window. I'm like, the camera's going to get the window. Like I have to roll it down. I don't even know how far.
It was so funny.
It was, as soon as you said the window's down and
I couldn't figure out what you were doing. You're like, I thought you were like unlocking the doors. I thought you were going to get out of the car to go take the picture. Moving? Well, we were kind of stopped in traffic and you're like, I'll just jump out real quick and take the picture. And I was like, what are you doing? And then you're
crazy.
Like, I can't get the window down. I'm like, okay.
It was so funny. It was one of those moments afterwards where you feel like the heat rush in your face. You're like, it's not it's embarrassment, but the fun kind. You're like, oh, how did that happen? And then going back, I'm like, did I even get the picture? I did. I got a good picture.
Beautiful. Let's post it right now. This is the picture right here.
Okay, it's not that good.
I was going to point wherever.
It's good enough.
I'm not going to put it in
It was
there.
a good enough because it had like pods on the plant. And
I thought it was a Venus flytrap.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think that's what it was, though.
Probably not. I don't know.
They just look like seed pods.
But I wanted to see what it was. And so I knew we didn't have time to do the Google search. So I was going to just take a picture of it so I could Google search it later. And I just needed a picture. I needed a clear picture.
You got it.
I did.
It was a beautiful moment. I'm glad we got to experience it together.
It was fun. So, yeah. So, Windows up or down moment.
Doesn't it feel like it's been a month since we've been here?
It really does. When is it? Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we recorded, just the two of us, because we've had guests on and everything. And it's just been it's literally, I can't even remember the last time. It feel like it's been a month or so.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
It's nice to see you again.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you again.
Look at you.
What's been going on in your life since the last time we met? Should we get into this weekend? You want to talk all about it?
I'm in such a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you explain Abraham to people who don't know who Abraham is?
How would I explain? Okay. I guess really depends on the person I'm talking to or to start. I don't know if I would start on like, okay, let's just do our best. So Abraham is not a being, is an energy, is a consciousness, a collective consciousness space. Like Esther explains it way better than me. That this energy space that is channeled, that Esther Hicks was able to connect to and start to receive messages from like 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was back in the 80s, right?
Yeah, it was it was a long time ago. So it's pretty incredible. So she was able to get really still and get in these moments to where she could open up, and this being, this consciousness, this energy came through to her, and it was kind of like it's a unique journey of how she first like realized what was actually happening, because as Abraham was coming through the space, didn't quite understand what was happening, and it took a while for her to understand what was happening, and then leaning in, and now she is able to kind of go into that space and like drop in and get out of the way so that she can channel. And so then Abraham comes through and has messages. I hope I'm doing a good enough
You're doing a
job.
great
I'm
job.
trying. And their focus is really about love, and the law of attraction is just the basis of it, is the law of attraction and
Manifestation.
And, you know, you are the creator of your reality. And, you know, no matter where you are, whether you're in like a high vibe in space or a low vibe in space, you're manifesting your reality, and you're shooting, she goes, rockets of desire and getting into the vortex. And like, don't take my word and description for it. Go like listen to something. It's really incredible and powerful. And it's also like, if it doesn't vibe for you right now, that's okay. Because it's like this ebb and flow. Was I too close?
It was under your chin.
Was it?
It's all good.
Is it now not under my chin?
Nope, it's perfect.
What am I going to rest my head on?
You've been listening to her for a really long time. So this was like a huge weekend for you.
It was. And it's like not because it's this ebb and flow. I've had a unique, I'm sure I'm not unique to this relationship. I feel like anybody that's, I don't know. I've had a unique journey with Abraham, from really liking them to really wanting to like them, to feeling like I'm not doing it right, feeling like I'm failing, to getting to where like, psh, not listening, you know, whatever, don't believe, you know, just like this love-hate thing of where I was not able to hear them at all.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of done this thing, and no matter where I am, they always are. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm in a space where I can hear it, if I'm in a space where I'm resonating, if I'm in a space where I'm feeling like able to receive or not, like they don't care. You know, they're there regardless, and nothing changed. It's just, I don't know. There's so much comfort to be able to step out of something and step back in, and it's just like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So yeah, it was a really powerful weekend. It was really, I say really so much. Like, I really want you to know how cool it was. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like the
Yeah.
entire weekend. I haven't been listening to her as long as you've been listening, but
You've been aware of them as long as I have, though.
yeah, definitely aware of them. And I think it's the thing, and we were talking about this weekend too, where it's like, for a long time, I didn't like listening to them. Like, I didn't like any of their stuff, simply because I think I wasn't at the place where I could really hear it. It's kind of a vibrational thing, but it's also just kind of a thing of where they're speaking about things that you not only have to be open to be able to hear them, or open to hearing them, but it's, I mean, I can't think of anything that I resonate more with today than this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like a certain point in life, you get to the spot where you're like, oh, this makes so much sense, and it just clicks. And that's what this entire year has been for me. Like, I've been binging all of their stuff this entire year, just really absorbing it and connecting to it, and like seeing all the connecting pieces of how you and I both have been implementing this in some way, subconsciously and consciously over the past, I mean, really our whole life. But do you know what I mean? It's such a cool moment to be able to put all those pieces together, and then to get to go to like this awesome 2-day event. So it was in Asheville, North Carolina, which was really convenient for us because it's only a couple of hours from where we live. So we got to also go to Asheville, which we had never been to before, which was amazing, right?
Yes.
Where do you want to start? Like, where do you want to start with?
I already started.
I know, but like, not just the
Where do you want to start
explanation
with?
part of
Where do you
like
want
who
to
she
start
is,
with?
like the
I already
trip.
started.
Like,
You start. Where do you want to start?
what was cool for me, like right off the bat, because we had so many synchronistic events, not just leading up to it, but like at the event, the entire weekend, there were so many moments where it was just like, okay, this is exactly where we're supposed to be. This is exactly the stuff that we're not just into, but like we were creating this incredible weekend for ourselves. We check into the hotel. This was the coolest part, I think, for me, or one of the coolest parts, where we get done checking into the hotel and we're trying to decide what we were going to do. And we were so excited to go swimming. Like, all I wanted to do was get into I just wanted to swim. I just wanted to dive into some water because I've been feeling like I needed some water a lot lately.
Yeah.
And the pool was closed for remodeling or whatever. So that kind of sucked.
We even tried the YMCA next door.
Yeah. Trying to find a pool that we could just go get in. That didn't happen. But it wasn't supposed to happen. And what ended up happening was they did the city of Nashville, not Nashville.
Asheville.
The city
Close.
of Asheville did like a summer concert series type thing where it was like a concert in the park, and it happened to be right behind our hotel.
Today's episode is brought to you by Woolly. Most fabrics today are packed with synthetic materials, microplastics that shed into the environment and your skin.
But not Woolly clothes. All of their apparel is made with natural merino wool. And the very first time I tried Woolly, I was hooked. I swapped out all of my boxers, not just because they're comfortable and feel good, but I'm also concerned about not leaching any of those harmful chemicals you know where. I mean, come on.
Craig loves his boxers, and let me tell you, I can't get enough of their panties either. They're so soft and comfortable, it almost feels like I'm not wearing any underwear at all.
Merino wool isn't just soft and comfortable. It's naturally moisture wicking, helps regulate your temperature naturally, and odor resistant. So with temperatures heating up this summer, it's time to go with some Woolly.
And right now, listeners of Steph and Craig get 15% off of everything at Woolly. Click the link in the description. Be sure to enter promo code Steph and Craig and save your 15% now.
Wear better, feel better with Woolly clothing. So it was incredibly convenient for us because we could just walk there.
Over. Yeah.
And it was this awesome, like, food trucks and vendors and live music, and the music was incredible. Like, they had this trio of sisters that were singing, and it was unreal how awesome that was. So that was like the kickoff for the weekend for us, just being in that environment, which was so full of love and so like exciting and joy and happiness and delicious food. Like, we got these killer burgers at that food truck, and then just sitting there watching not just the music and listening, but all the people watching, and then all the synchronistic things that kept like walking by us, all the people that, I mean, the list was like endless of things that were so incredible about that evening. And that was just like day one when we got there.
Yeah.
Do you remember a part of that you liked the most?
Oh my gosh, there were so many. There's also parts that are, the parts that are standing, which is great for a podcast. The parts that are standing out the most are the parts that are the most precious to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't actually want to, that's not for the world.
You're not going to share those?
No.
Yeah.
No. And so that's why I said it's great for the podcast. And like, I remember some pretty significant things, but I'm not going to tell you.
It's like the most profound shit in the last 5 years for me.
And that's like actually it.
Yeah.
You know, there were some really big things, but they're very precious to me. And I'm not going to share them, but let's see what else we can think of. There was just so many. It was really nice to be in a space where like you just like keyed in, you're like, there's love everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, everybody was like so loving. Like there was so many different, I don't know, walks of life. There was so many different, like, it was just like the kaleidoscope as it should be of people and personalities and like styles and authenticity. There was just like, it wasn't a, you know how you're in places and you look around and it's like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It was just so beautiful to see like so many different energies, so many different, and to be completely, like there was so much love everywhere. And as you, like you had said that, and I was just looking around and really, I had so many moments this weekend where I had this profound experience of deep love, where it just kind of like took you back, the moment sets in. And it was that one of them, just everybody like in this co-creation of acceptance and love and encouragement, and just, it was just so, and vibing with this great music that was, it was just
bananas.
So cool. It was
like,
so
I can't think of an
cool.
experience like that we've had before, where like everybody was happy.
Yeah.
Everybody was laughing. Everybody was smiling. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody, like, it was, and there was like hundreds of people.
And there was dogs everywhere.
Yeah, it was definitely a dog-friendly city.
The dogs were happy.
I know, the dogs were happy. The birds were singing.
Right. Everything was amazing.
It really was. And then there was day one of the conference. So that was on a Friday night. And then Saturday was day one of the conference. And we had no idea what to expect because obviously we had never been there before. And we had to line up early. Like the conference didn't, or not conference, but the workshop didn't start till 1. And they're like, yeah, you can start lining up. Or no, we're going to.
It's like the doors open like 10:30 or something.
And people were already lined up by like 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So we went down and got in line, and we ended up getting great seats. And we did, like, I'd have no idea what to expect, but it was unreal how cool it was. So like Esther comes out on stage and does a little, I don't even know, like, I don't even remember what she talked about or what she said,
Yeah,
kind of just
she was
welcoming
first
everybody,
like,
right?
how many of you are at your first conference? And there was a few of us.
Yeah.
She was like, oh boy, okay, so this is what's going to happen. And it was just so funny the way that she introduced and started.
Yeah. And then she just connects to Abraham, and then we go. And it was like, I don't know. It's like, as we're sitting here talking about it, it's one of those things that's kind of hard to, it's not necessarily hard to put into words, but you have to, I don't even know if you have to be a fan of Abraham and Esther. Like, it was just so profound. Like, it's hard to explain. Do you know what I mean?
There was a girl that had never heard of Abraham, but so there was a couple.
Oh yeah.
Like
the ones
two
behind us, the friends
it.
behind us. Yeah.
And at first, like, we got to talk to her after the first one and then the next day. And it was a profound. So after the
Did you
first
talk to her
one,
the next day?
yeah. And she, like, because I ran into her and it was just like she was just in this profound space. But the thing that stood out first was because we had more of a conversation, not just the, the love vibe after. But they didn't really know what was going on because their friend had brought them. And she was like, do you want me to tell you about it? She's like, no, I'm just going to experience it. And she kept that. So at the beginning, when she went and did that space and then Abraham kept talking about Esther, she was like, is she talking about herself in the third person? Like, she wasn't quite sure what was happening. And then got to experience the whole thing. And then the second day was, even better, I think. And she was just like in this. So even not knowing Abraham and then going in and experiencing it. So if you don't know Abraham, you should go love them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, not kidding. Go check them out.
Well, I said you should. Like, you don't have to, but
You definitely have to.
if it's if it's on your path, it's for your path.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Abraham just got on your path. Anyways, keep going.
What was your favorite takeaway?
What was my favorite takeaway? I don't know if I can pinpoint one. There was so...
This is also the morning after we got home.
Right?
That we're
vibing.
recording this. So it's kind of like not all of it has fully, completely saturated
Right.
into us
We're
yet.
not even sitting on chairs right now. We're just levitating over here. We're just like... we're high vibe. There were so many different moments that just connected. I think my biggest takeaway, I don't even know, like for right now, what my biggest awareness is how I'm really in this space of receiving and allowing. I'm trying to speak and assign meaning to things, but I'm not in a space of trying to assign meaning to things. I'm just in this allowing, trusting space. And because I had so many profound synchronicities, I had things that have came up beforehand that I knew. Okay, I'll share a little bit because it's just kind of weird not to share a little bit, but I'm not going to go into great detail. It's behind a paywall. You have to subscribe to Patreon. Just kidding. We don't even have a Patreon. Just being funny. Thank you for laughing. I hope you did too. I had this I thought it was a meditation, but it was actually, I was in a session with my sister and she was taking me through this hypnosis, and I had visualized some cobblestone and just like walking on it. And that was just like, it was like that part of it. And then through the processing of really connecting to a different part of myself and not a past, present, or future, just like a different dimension. Stay with me. I hope I'm not losing people. Different dimensions where, am I talking fast?
Not at all.
I'm talking fast. I just got nervous.
No, you're not.
I just got
talking fast at all.
nervous. I just got so nervous. Let me take a breath. Yeah, I just got so nervous. Okay. So the realization after was that when I found myself walking on cobblestone, it was going to have a very significant meaning and message. And I knew what that message and meaning was. And my promise to myself was that I wasn't going to do the thing that I used to do, which is minimize it, dismiss it, not even see it, but then say, oh, it's not really that. It didn't, pick it apart of all the reasons why. It was like, when this happened, I was going to be so like present in the moment. I was acknowledging it. I was allowing it, receiving it, and believing it fully. And making that decision allowed it to keep unfolding in different ways, in different times. And every time it is like showed up, and it wasn't even like, it doesn't have to be like, we'll get into this space. Like if it doesn't look exactly like this, smell exactly like this, taste exactly like this, show up on this day, everything, the stars align perfectly and it matches identical to what, then we dismiss it. And the funny thing is often if it does that, we'll still
dismiss it,
or miss it.
Yeah.
It's like, and so getting out of that space and allowing it to show up how it wanted to show up to me, and allowing it to like echo and echo and echo. And as we were, so we were going for this little walk, it was started to be like this brick path, this brick road. And it was like, oh my goodness. And then I'm like, that's significant, right? Because there's bricks, it's close. And I'm allowing it to mean, and then there were these little gray rocks that separated two paths. One had spirals on them and one was just like the brick. And it was these little rocks that look like cobblestone. They were, I don't know, 4 by 4, we'll say, roughly, natural rocks that were just laid out like cobblestone. And it was just this little path in between. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is cobblestone. This is like, and the vision I got, the words that I'm using are, I don't know how to describe it other than. So when you have a vision, when you have a thing, you describe it with the words that you have. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what it looks like. In my brain, I thought it was going to be in Europe when I saw him. And I'm just like, that's cool. But I didn't make it only there.
Yeah.
And turns out we did go a little east of us.
We did go a little east.
But so that was like this powerful moment. I'm like, this is it. This is happening. And I allowed it to be it. And I allowed that message to sink. And then we kept going and exploring. And then we uncovered this street that was, it's like that the bricks were rounded, and it was just that separation of how cobblestone would lay out perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was just a slightly different color, but I'm like, this is it. Like, this is the cobble. And I kept walking up and down the road. Like, we went on several. I'm like, I have to walk on the road. Some of it I was walking barefoot in the middle. I probably look like a lunatic, but, or I don't know, maybe everybody gets transformed on that street. But it was just such a, oh my goodness moment that I can still feel vibrating in my chest and in my belly, and opening up that space of like, it's like, this is such a knowing space. My biggest takeaway is just this knowing and allowing without like having to like get this meaning, this like super hold on, this is what it's gonna, I'm allowing it to be all the ways that it's going to show up. Because if I was like, it only can look like this, then I would have missed it. It's going to show up like this, and it can only look like this, and it can't look like anything else. And if it doesn't look like this, then I'm not going to see it. I would have missed it. But that's not the energy. So it's the allowing. I'm in an allowing space.
Yeah.
That was my biggest takeaway for right now.
That's so awesome.
And she reiterated it over and over. And just like peace in yourself and peace with what's going on and being able to be the part. She said something that was one thing that was so profound. And it was, she was like, as we were talking, and there was people that are speaking to things that are really difficult for them. And she's like, they help them get to a space to where they can see it from their higher selves, get to the space where they can see it without the cloud,
Yeah.
And
that's a good way to put it too.
Yay. There was this part of where like they were talking about the difficulties that are going on in the world, on the planet right now. And one of the things that we feel like is like, we can't make change because we are not the powers that be. And meaning like political officials and all of, the people all the people that are the powers that be. And they said, you are the powers that be. And it just like was like, oh, we get to make the change.
Yeah.
We get to make the change. We don't, not to say that we can only make the change if we had this position or this title. Like we are the powers that be. And that felt really, really good.
It did feel so good. That was a cool moment. like you said, there were so many different ones where it was just like, oh my gosh.
What's your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I think some of my biggest takeaways from the experience, outside of like just the beautifulness of the trip and the like everything about the, you know, the weekend for us was so magical and so fun, and like great food. Like there were so many yummy restaurants that we ate at that were so delicious. And I still want like that food truck hamburger. I don't remember, like I have no idea what the name of the food truck was, but it was such a killer burger. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Heritage Still. A few years back, after we learned all about the toxic chemicals in those nonstick pans, we decided to toss them out and go with 100% stainless steel cookware from Heritage Still.
Heritage Still uses high-quality, multi-clad stainless steel to give you unmatched durability, precision, and performance.
Their cookware is safe for any cooking surface. It's easy to clean, and every piece of cookware comes with a lifetime warranty. So whether you're a pro in the kitchen or just learning your way around, Heritage Still makes cooking easier, more precise, and more enjoyable.
Right now, listeners of the podcast can save 10% off anything at Heritage Still. Head over to heritagestill.us/Steph and Craig and be sure to enter promo code Steph and Craig at checkout to save 10%.
Invest in cookware that lasts a lifetime. Heritage Still, chef-grade cookware for less. And those French fries.
Those French fries were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, as far as like Esther and Abraham, and I think some of the biggest stuff for me was, some of it I'm not going to share because I don't want to yet, or maybe never, who knows. But it was the awareness that the emotional body, like your emotional monitoring system, and the importance of what that is. I mean, it's something that I've already known. It's something that I've already been practicing, but it was just like to get clarity on it over and over and over and over again. And like in person, listening to her talk about it, it's like how important it is. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of what, and we talked about this on the way home too, right? But a lot of what I'm going through right now is this process of trying to let go of all of my stories from my past and all of the things that have really shaped and molded who I am and my life up until this point. And some of them, and truth be told, a lot of them, like I feel like a lot of my past and a lot of the stories and a lot of my history and everything like that, I'm just done talking about, I'm done dealing with, I'm done thinking about, I'm done feeling, I'm done, you know, like I'm no longer interested in spinning and all of that stuff anymore. It doesn't feel useful or helpful or beneficial to me any longer. There was definitely a time where it was, and I think that's an important thing, right? I think that there's a time and a place for all of that healing that you and I both have gone through, but it was real clear to me that it was time to move on. And she said it this weekend in different ways, but one of the things that I've heard her say before too was your higher self, like your higher self, doesn't look back. They only look forward. They're only interested in like the leading edge of creation. They're not spending time reflecting backwards and looking at like what happened when you were 5 or what happened when you were 20, or do you know what I mean? They don't spend any time there. All of their attention and focus is spent on what's next, moving forward, creating reality. And that's what was a real big kind of like, not just takeaway, but clarification. And I don't want it, like reiteration isn't the right word. Confirmation over and over and over again of the importance of emotions, and even the negative emotions, even the emotions that we don't want to feel and that are difficult to feel, right? They definitely serve a purpose. And I loved how she articulated that as far as like, yeah, you're supposed to like, it's all about joy. You're just supposed to be happy and feel joy. And when you don't, then that's your body saying, hey, it's like the hot cold game. Like you're not happy right now. You're not feeling joy. Go back to joy. And then you get a little bit further away. And it's like, you're getting further away. Go back to joy. Go back to happiness. Go back to that spot where things feel better. So again, it was just like reiteration of all of these things that I've been embracing and thinking about and really implementing in my life. This year has been really big for us as far as just living the way that we want to live based off of how it feels, like the way that we move through our life. I love our like day in and day out experience right now of how we're just kind of like waking up when we want to wake up, spending the morning, and sometimes it's not even the morning because we slept until 10 o'clock, right? But spending the first part of our day just going really slow and meditating and doing yoga and our little yoga platform outside. which has been so cool. Like we have this deck in the front of our yard, and it's been here since we moved here. We didn't build it. It came with the house. And it's a little ramshackle kind of deck because our dog Roxy teethed when she was teething, she decided to eat the entire deck. And so every post out there, every railing has chew marks. Like she just ate up that deck all over like the whole thing.
When she was big enough to reach the top, she was like pulling segments
big
off.
Old chunks of wood off. And yeah, so it was a great teething deck for our dog. But the railing along the top, like between the posts, I was sitting out there the other morning and I was like, I want to get rid of these. And you're like, I don't know if that's going to feel good.
My brain was like, they're going to fall down. Those
are
you're
like, those are support beams.
I just thought they were like not support. I thought they were just like braced so they didn't, topple over. If we take them out, then it's going to be like
corner posts are going to come
they're just going to fall
down.
down.
Luckily, they didn't.
They didn't.
I removed them.
And it's magic.
It is magic. It feels really good now. So now we've moved all of our yoga outside on the deck during the day and in the morning and with the trees and the birds and the sun and it's so awesome.
It's my favorite thing. Like that is where it is my favorite.
Oh, I love it.
It's like I'm now addicted to it in the best way. It feels so good. I missed it when we were in Asheville.
Yeah.
Like I missed it. And to get back to it this morning felt so good. You created the space. As soon as I sat out there, I was like, whoa. And now I just want to do yoga outside on the porch. It's like, you know how there's times when it's like, I have a practice. I need to, I need to go do this. I need to go work out. I need, whatever. It's that, even when you don't want to, you're trying to make yourself do it. And you're like, you feel better after. It's this like thing to get to it. Or at least at this point in time, it doesn't feel like that. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get outside. And I keep like peeking at you because you were out there this morning. I'm like, when's it my turn? When's it my turn?
I told you could come out with me.
I know, but there's like the space. We have to do it so that works. And I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But it is like I am so excited to be out there. And the first time, it just felt like this whole transformation. I'm like, you created a portal. And it just kept happening every time. It's a magical space. You totally created this magical space and it feels so, so good. So anyways, it doesn't feel like I have to go do this and have to stick with it and keep the momentum.
Yeah, there's no struggle there, huh?
There's zero struggle. And like to even like further speak to that, how when you are trying that practice and you miss a couple of days, it's hard to get back. Instead, I was like, I gotta get out there to yoga. It just felt so good. Sat back out there and was like, here I am. Feels so good.
Yeah, it's so nice.
I'm so glad you took those not needed in the way beams down.
I am too. I have no idea, like energetically, what that was all about, but it totally changed the space.
Changed it.
Like it just opened it wide open, and suddenly it's like a completely different patio now. It's very, very cool. I should do it to all of it.
Right? I know. I'm like, what do we not need here?
Right.
That can go.
Yeah, babe, our life is changing so significantly right now. 2025 has been a massive transformational year for us. Yeah. And it's not even done. Like we're halfway through and it's so exciting. And I don't even know, like, there's a part of me that I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's next. But then at the same time, we're creating it consistently day in and day out. And it's like, in your mind, where do you see us? Not necessarily going because, we don't want to future cast too far down the line, but like maybe a better question is, do you think that, like, if you look back over the course of our relationship and our life together and everything like that, are you surprised that we're at this spot? Like, part of me is very surprised that we're here. And I don't just mean like living in Tennessee and everything like that, but
I'm very surprised we're living in Tennessee.
No, I'm just surprised that we are at this phase of life right now where everything feels so amazing and so incredible. Like it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's kind of surprising me sometimes when I look at it where it's like, oh, life's really, really good right now. And it's continuing to be really, really good. Do you find that surprising? Or maybe you have a different experience.
No. Well, I guess, yes, I do have a different experience because I'm a different person. But there's like, because there's always ebbs and flows and ups and downs and things happen. And, you know, there's part of me that, like, if I take a snapshot from where I am now to 10 years ago or 20 years ago, you know, I guess even 5 years ago, then yes, I am surprised. I'm very, very, very surprised. But things keep, like, it doesn't, at least the way that I'm seeing it, it's not the absence of hard, you know, because we can definitely look and say, like, well, this was hard, you know, all of these things. It's not because nothing ever gives us a moment. It's not because there's never any down days or low energy days, you know. Very much still have, like, to pull the covers over my head. I very much need that time to reflect, and I still have, like, things that come up that I have to address.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the absence of those. It's not like, you know, it's just this overall, yeah, I guess I am surprised. I am surprised that my head keeps coming above water. You know, it used to be that every once in a while you would get this, like, this little peak, this little gasp of air, like, and then you were back down.
Mm-hmm.
And now it just feels like, yeah, I'm just like swimming on the surface, swimming back. And I definitely have moments of, like, you know, here comes a wave that takes me down and rolls me on the bottom for a little while. But, you know, then I make it back up. And sometimes it's harder than others. Sometimes those waves are really freaking big.
Yeah.
But overall, there's more, like, I sit in more happiness. Overall, I sit in more peace. Overall, I sit in this moment of excited. And sometimes when it's hard, I forget that there is air above. You know, it's not always, you know, we're not just, I haven't figured out how to be blissed out yet completely 100% of the time, but who knows, maybe we're on the way. But in this space of allowing what happens and what comes and goes in the heart, you know, overall, yeah, I'm really surprised and grateful that, like, thank you for saying that. I don't think I've really settled into the truth of the overall picture. You know, there's still very much of me that is moment, 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 which is funny because that's presence, 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 which is what I've been trying for.
Yeah.
But it also can be tunnel vision, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to sit here in presence and have it unfold, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, doing pretty good. It's not because things have, you know, that nothing ever difficult happens. Nothing is ever something that we have to figure out. It's just the overall, I don't know.
It's crazy,
It's
isn't it? Like, it's almost hard to.
It's like I feel bad saying that even. I'm like, oh, people are listening. They're gonna hate for, like, you know. It's like it's like this. Like, there's this part that still that came up a while ago that I had, like, full awareness of. I'm like, oh, when I'm happy, there's guilt with happy. There's still that thing of, like, I'm not allowed to be happy. This is going on. This is going on. This is going on. I haven't done this for this person. I made this choice and this person isn't happy with it. And here I'm not allowed to be happy. Especially if I make choices and actions that don't align with what other people wanted, then I can't be happy with it. I have to be, like, miserable and remorseful to say. And all of that is, like, it's still, like, I'm still pulling those threads. I'm still unpacking that and releasing that. And I don't know what part of me isn't ready to let it go yet, but it's still there to where, like, just saying how happy overall, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So to, like, that's interesting. And yeah, I am happy. I'm really happy. And I really like that. I really like that. I really like that overall, like, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am surprised. And I also, like, want to high five myself. Like,
Right? Isn't it awesome?
Good job. I can feel that in my belly. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
we're happy. You know, it feels so good.
I think
It feels so good.
I think for me, it's the awareness that for a long time I was living a life that I thought I was happy about, But what I was really doing was not looking at a lot of things that needed to be looked at and dealt with. So just pretending like life was really good, but not even like in a pretend way, just kind of like in a completely oblivious way of like, I'm not going to deal with those things that
If I don't look at it, it'll go away.
yeah. And just
it's
really
not
just
real.
focused on like, why bother worrying about those things? Just focus on all of these other things, but in a passive way, like not passive in a. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Routine.
We've been on the hunt for an electrolyte powder that we can add to our water every day, and we're excited to say we found it.
Morning Routine is a special blend of organic lemon, apple cider vinegar, Himalayan sea salt, and all the other essential electrolytes that you need for your day. It's non-GMO, organic, dairy and gluten-free,
Soy-free, sugar-free, keto-friendly, 100% vegan, and made in the USA. And one of my favorite things about Routine is that it doesn't contain any synthetic dyes or preservatives.
You simply add water, shake it up, and enjoy the nutrients that your body needs for the day. We've been enjoying Routine for a while now and can't wait to share it with you.
Right now, listeners of the podcast can save 10% off anything at Routine. Head over to yourroutine.com/Steph and Craig and be sure to enter promo code Steph and Craig at checkout to save you your 10%.
Start your day off the right way with Morning Routine. Your body will thank you. Gosh dang it, I don't know what the word is, but very much in a dissociated way, like in an avoidant way. Not wanting to look at the things and just pretend like that's not really the case and that's not what's going on. But in the back of my mind, like in the subconscious, in the recesses back there, there's that little part that was still always just like, things are fucked up.
Yeah, stress is building even if you don't look at it.
Well, I'm like, no, they're not. Everything's fine. And so really avoidant when it came to, I mean, a lot of different things, right? And that has changed so significantly now where I'm not avoidant of the things that are difficult or hard or that I don't want to feel or that I don't want to think about or that I don't want to talk about or face. I've done all of that. So now it's like, well, shit, things are just really good.
Yeah.
I'm just really happy.
Like, elaborate on that too. Like you have this avoidance of these things that like, I feel like that's so important to touch on and not looking at things and it's not the sinking and focusing and the spiral, but like, you're like, okay, things need to be looked at. Things need to be looked at and giving yourself the allowance to look at it and work on it and heal through it. Now you're at this, can you like say more about that?
Well, I just think that it's, part of me has had awareness of this in some subconscious way, but like all of the things that I used to avoid facing and dealing with and thinking about, I don't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it's stuff that I've dealt with. It's stuff that I've faced. I'm totally accountable for actions and choices and decisions and things that I do. And now what's taking place is it's like the freedom of no longer having to carry around all of that stuff in the back of my mind, like I was saying, in the kind of recesses there where it's like all of that stuff was always lingering. Now having the freedom to genuinely just be happy and joyful and excited about life. And like you said, yeah, there's stress and there's things like that, but all of those things don't, what used to happen was the pretending to be happy about things by ignoring the things that needed to be dealt with. And then when stressful things would come, then it just takes you out completely. And the happiness was fake as well.
Yeah.
Like it was just this unfulfilled, like if you pretend, it's like a 50% worth of happiness rather than like the full 100%. That's not even accurate. Like it's not even just real. Like I knew that I was lying to myself. I knew that I was pretending that things were good or that things were going to be okay, when really it's like, well, you're not really dealing with stuff. And I'm like, that's not really the case anymore. I've dealt with stuff. I'm feeling really positive and really happy. And it's weird. Like there's a part of me that feels like it's a strange way to feel, just simply because it's new. Do you know what I mean? It's not a common thing. We've spent so much time trying to navigate this journey of healing and getting to that spot where things were really positive and really good, but from a real genuine, truthful place, that now we're finding ourselves here consistently over and over and over again for an extended period of time. And it's like, oh, wow. It's not only is it possible, but it's like, yeah, it's just unreal how good it feels. Like I'm surprised at how happy I am. Do you know what I mean? Part of me is like, I woke up this morning and I was kind of groggy, but not like in a, just whatever, just kind of groggy. Didn't quite get enough sleep that I wanted to, but I was rested. And I was sitting there getting ready to wake up and get out of bed. And I was like, I'm just in a good mood. Like, I'm just happy. I was thinking about the day and kind of what, what's going to happen today and everything. And I was like, I'm just in a good mood. And that is a consistent way of feeling now. And we could like chalk up, there's so many things that we have done to get to this point in life, but
Yeah, that's important.
it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's really important. But like the whole thing of like, I was saying at the beginning of the episode or towards the beginning where we were talking about like this year alone, we'd made deliberate decisions to just start living the life that we wanted to be living. So it was no longer like, well, one day we'll live this way, or one day we'll do yoga outside on our patio, every single day. It was like, no, we're just going to do all of these things that we want to do today and live the life that we want to live now, rather than waiting for it to happen at some point when all these other things were taken care of. And turns out all of those things that we thought we had to get taken care of before we could live this happy life really wasn't the case. I think that was the illusion and the lie that somehow we had to take care of all of those things before we, like you were saying, right? You have to make sure that all of those boxes were checked with family and kids and all these other kind of different things where it's like, okay, now I'm allowed to be happy. Now I'm allowed to step into this space. Where
I never checked all those boxes either because you can't. It's impossible.
Yeah. That's the whole thing is
yeah.
it's like, it's a lie. It's just a lie. You don't have to do that. Turns out you can just fucking choose to be happy.
And then if you're
start
happy
going in that
without checking
direction.
all those boxes, you're a selfish POS.
Right.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you?
So it feels incredible.
Yeah.
It really does. It does kind of feel like, oh, we're just so happy and we're sitting here talking about it on the podcast and living this happy life and everybody's like, fuck you. But I know that's not the case, but do you know what I mean?
And next week we'll be happy, and the week after that we'll be happy, and the week after that, maybe we'll have something, come up, and it'll be an emotional podcast because we still have things. And then after that we'll be happy. It doesn't mean, it's also like too, if it's like, oh, you're happy. Oh yeah. You better never not be happy then.
I know, just
or else you're
wait.
full of shit. Oh, look at you. Thought you were happy. All the things. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to have, I might be snot ugly crying on the next episode and be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm still in perimenopause and I'm happy. Like, you can, things are all over. It's just like this natural spectrum of emotions. We're not supposed to get stuck in one, but we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
all
you're
the
not
negative
failing
ones.
if you feel them. I was talking like with this weekend. I was like, I felt every emotion. I went through all of them. Like, I didn't just stay in love, like willingness, acceptance, love, joy, all of that. I didn't just stay in this thing. I went all the way down to like hopelessness and abandonment, and then shame, like, how dare I be not happy when I'm here, like you're messing it up. I went through everything. And the difference is that I didn't stay in this spot where I was like punishing and keeping myself there. I allowed it to be an emotion that came and left. And I allowed this, like, I spent most of the time in this really amazing space, and that was a good thing. And like, just to feel like the full spectrum of emotions made this feel so much better. It was like we're not only supposed to feel the one thing. I obviously, if I had a choice, like, would you? I mean, right now I'd be like, yeah, this feels great. I would just like to ride this vibe.
We kind of have a choice.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing is we actually get to decide and choose.
Maybe I'm not ready to believe that completely, because I'm like, yeah, that feels like, I don't know, like, we'll see next week. But I know that this is like, I'm allowed to be happy, even if other people don't agree with me, even if other people are mad at me for my choices. I'm allowed to be happy. I'm not going out and hurting anybody else. I'm not going out and being like, oh, I'm going to hurt you and take away from you and do, like, so I can be happy. I'm not making choices for anybody else and being happy that I'm controlling anybody else.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is being happy with myself and my choices, and not allowing other people to control that as much as I can, right?
Yeah.
I'm just in that space. So it's like it's like that thing, like I'm not violating anybody by being happy.
That's one of the things that she talks a lot about is just be selfish. Like the invitation there to just be selfish. But she jokes about it, but it's really true. It's like you get to decide what you want. Like literally you get to decide because you're creating your reality. So be selfish about it. What do you want your reality to look like? How do you want to feel? Do you know what I mean? And that concept and idea is so foreign at times to think that it's like, because selfishness has such a bad rap. And this is a completely different perspective of like a completely different way of looking at it, where there's nothing selfish. I shouldn't say there's nothing selfish about this, but it's like, I mean, because all we're doing is creating a life of joy and happiness and love, which in turn gives us the opportunity to spread more, share more, you know, all of those kind of things. So I think it's really cool that we're finally allowing ourselves to be selfish in all of this.
Yeah. Like the trick though, I think with that is that it's not conditional. I'm not in this space, or like this happiness and joy, this selfishness is what you want to do with your space, not what you want other people to do. You know, being selfish is in like, okay, give me this, do this for me, do that. And taking, you're just in your own space. Like this feels, you know, without, like I said, without controlling what other people do, you know, I still have those little parts where I'm like, oh, I really think you should do this. You know, I don't have to quite, but then it's not it's that releasing of the expectations of anybody else doing what you think is best and allowing them to do what they think is best, regardless of what you think, and being happy regardless of what they choose. And there's like moments like this, I'm good at that. And other moments I'm like, definitely, you know, definitely a little bit harder. So it's that selfishness of making yourself happy, doing what you need for you, and not making that like taking from other people. If it's like working and you're vibing with people around you, that's great. Just not like, oh, I'm going to be happy because you are going to do all of this. And that also means that I have to find ways to be happy when that doesn't work out, you know, when they do something that is maybe hurtful or, you know, that causes a wound, and I still have to be like, I'm going to take care of me and be happy regardless. There's so much to figure out here. It's so much fun to figure it all out. I don't have all the answers. Abraham does. Go listen to them. You know? But it's like, it's fun to figure this journey out. It's fun to like, I love this. Like you were saying, I'm in a good mood. I was getting ready. Now, granted, I spent a little extra time doing yoga this morning because it felt so good and I haven't had it. And that I had to come in and like get ready and shower, and like in my time frame to get on this episode, or the one that we were going to do before. Anyways, the time frame of that window was closing, and I was rushed and I was trying to hurry. And then I started playing with let me rephrase that. I started having fun with the experience of it. I almost pulled a Phil Dunphy there.
You had 15 minutes to get ready. I spent 10 of them playing with myself, but
I started having fun with the experience of it.
Yeah.
And being like, oh my gosh, like I'm having fun, and just like noticing I was really happy, and I could have started like placing it with anxiety and like, oh my gosh, there's no time. And instead I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really happy. And I kept saying it because as it came up and I would feel that, like, don't say that. I was like, oh, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And I'm like, this is fun. This rush of hurrying to be on time, instead of it being like, I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is because it's like a race, you know, when you do the race. I'm like, I'm racing right now. I get to have fun, and I'm going to be so proud of myself when I cross. And I was ready 10 minutes early. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I did have to go change my shirt one time, but I was still ready early. You know,
yeah,
I went
baby.
I could have been late, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I like the adrenaline of this. I like the rush of this. Which is way different than feeling like
super different.
Oh, I'm late. I'm never gonna. I always do this. This is the same shit, Stephanie. Why can't you ever get your shit together? Be on time. You know, all of us crap and thinking you're mad at me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And I started running around going, I'm fast as fuck. Like I played and I had fun.
I love that.
Right?
That's
It
so
was just
awesome.
so much fun. You know?
Yeah, this is such a new era for us.
Right?
Like we're through making life harder than it really needs to be.
Right?
Just going towards all of this awesome stuff. I'm so glad. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Yeah, it's going to be really neat. It'll be interesting to see what it does to the podcast.
Right. We'll see.
And like we've talked, ad nauseum about trauma healing and all sorts of different things that we've had to navigate together. And I'm like, I don't know what's next.
Because we needed to.
Yeah, we really did.
We needed to. Like that part was so needed.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the part of like the Abraham part, It's like you really have to get into that spot. You have to look at all the things that were dismissed and pushed aside and not heard and not validated. You can't keep invalidating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you validate yourself and you look at it and then you can start to go through. Like, I'm so glad we did all that. I'm so glad we spent so much time on trauma and healing, because otherwise I couldn't see this.
Yeah.
And maybe, but I couldn't get there that way. I didn't know how that all of that trauma healing, and I know there's still stuff that's going to surface, that saved my life. That saved like our relationship, because like that was so needed.
Yeah.
And I get to breathe and be happy. And then I get to have, ups and downs instead of, is there, my baseline is a very different baseline now. I'm not in a peak. I mean, I am in a peak. I'm in a great mood. But my baseline is very different. It used to be way lower. It used to be like maybe I would get, little bumps of possibility. But my baseline has shifted. And that is, like, come on. How does it get any better than that? Maybe it shifts again.
Expect the best.
Plan for the greatest.
It's really exciting, babe.
Yeah.
It's really, really exciting.
So I'm grateful for that. And I'm excited to see how it shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I got to go pee. Let's get some lunch in our bellies.
Okay.
It's been a fun little episode.
It's been way fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Go follow us everywhere you can find us, which is almost everywhere.
Is it almost? Yeah.
And subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review as well. It's really, really helpful. So if you're a fan of the podcast and you want to support the podcast, leave us a little review and share it with somebody. And yeah, all the jazz.
All that jazz.
Just take a chance, we got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me, we were meant to be.
Thanks for tuning into the episode. If you haven't yet, please take a moment and subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with somebody. There's new episodes of the Steph and Craig Show every week. And if you enjoyed this one, be sure to check out some of these clips as well. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you all on the next episode.